Welcome to back to Discus Talk. Today we have with us Jovan Fisher from Myrtle Beach Discus. Hi, Jovan.
How's it going? How's it going?
Carrie's with us today. It's good to see Carrie.
Just hanging out.
How's it going? Jovan, tell us about your business down there in Myrtle Beach.
So Myrtle Beach Discus is located in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We've been in business for going on 5 years now. Business has picked up in the past few years for us. It definitely all started off as definitely like a hobby, like has for most of y'all.
Yeah.
Started it at my house and just started like community tank, just a bunch of random fish. And one day when I seen discus, it was kind of all over. I'll never forget. I went online and I started ordering. I must have ordered from half a dozen different websites, and I don't even want to tell you how many fish I killed off when I first started off.
We've all been there.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, live and learn. Kind of went that route, and so one tank went to about 10 tanks at home within about 6 month period, and I thought I knew it all, and I thought I was a professional discus breeder. Little did I know, I had no clue really. So I kind of opened up.
We all go through that too.
Oh yeah,
everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I'm still learning stuff today, and it's like.
Oh no, absolutely, 100%. It's a learning curve, even for people that have been doing it for a while.
Right.
And so then I opened up our shop that we have now, and my original design was I set up 20 breeder tanks, and I set up 8 55 grow outs, and that was the route I wanted to go, was just breeding. I talked to several pet shops. I attended a big aquatic show that they had in Chicago. I flew out to Chicago, met with some great contacts, even some big box stores, Petco, PetSmart.
Nice.
And I told them kind of what I was wanting to do, and they were all on board. But when I got back, I bought a bunch of pairs, and thought I was a discus king at the time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love your honesty. I went through the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like seeing deja vu here.
And I'm still a newbie with all the breeding stuff, so I mean, I cannot say anything for that.
Yeah, well, you know, you kind of get, it's kind of, the greed kind of takes over in a little while, plus your passion, and it's kind of like, man, I'm gonna get 20 breeder pairs, and each one's gonna give me 100 pair of discus a month, and 100 times $20 a piece. You know, it's like overnight. You know, but
Get me a money counter.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, but little did I know, there was it's a lot of work involved. It's definitely a passion. And about 4 months into it, I decided that this was not really the route that I wanted to go. I do have other businesses that I had before I got into discus, and
right. That makes it hard, I know.
Yeah, it was definitely. I found out that it was definitely time consuming, and this was not the route that I thought it was gonna be. So
right.
I went online like everybody does, and just did a lot of. I was researching and did a lot of YouTube research, and I actually met up with Hans.
Nice.
I flew up to Baltimore.
Cool.
Yeah, and I met Hans in person. Real great guy. And I checked out his facility. I bought a bunch of pairs from him, and I actually started buying wholesale from Hans. And I was a reseller for a little while. And then I believe it was 2018 was Anata
So yeah,
up in
Yeah.
Chicago.
yeah,
Yep. So I flew up there, uh, and I met with um, a whole bunch of great people.
hmm
It was kind of my first real step into the discus community per se. I really didn't have any friends on Facebook that were into discus at all, or I
Right.
wasn't of any kind of Facebook pages. I really didn't even think to add anything on Facebook as far as groups or anything else like that.
right.
And then
I must have missed you. I must have missed you in Chicago because I flew in on the last day. Well, we actually drove in, so we were already there. But I didn't go to the show. Just the last day I went
yeah,
there.
no, I flew up there and it was definitely a great time. I met a lot of great people.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are not even in business anymore.
More right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's kind of. I had a great time. Um, I ended up meeting Weston Darwin with
Nice.
him, and so we all kicked it off pretty well. You know, we were all young and
Right.
kicked it off pretty well with them. Um,
It's a good time.
oh yeah, for sure. And so I decided to start doing some business with Weston Darwin at the time. Um, and about 3 months into it, I figured, heck, I might as well, if I'm going to do this long term or semi long term, then I might as well start importing myself.
Exactly.
Um, so I went through all the steps in doing that. It's really risky, to say the least.
Yes.
Importing, uh, not only finding a decent supplier, you have to send your money through the bank on a wire transfer,
Right. The scary part.
and there is no cancellation. Once that money's sent,
It's gone.
it's gone. Yeah, so there's no taking it back. So I started importing. I think the first farm I dealt with was a farm in Thailand called Samsak Discus.
hmm
He was a real old breeder. I dealt with him for a little while, and then my name started getting out there a little bit, and I was contacted by a few other farms. Then I started importing from Malaysia.
Right.
And, I still import from Malaysia to this day.
Right.
At that time, I had a guy that was down in Malaysia. His name was David Wong,
hmm
and I think he's still part of the on the board of
Yeah, Malaysian.
Discus Malaysia. Yeah. So he was finding discus all around Malaysia for me, gathering them up.
Awesome.
He sent them to an exporter, and they halfway quarantined them and shipped them over to me. And that was how I started importing. It was definitely a rough start. Definitely had tanks of fish wipe out due to cross-contamination.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it happens fast. It
Yeah.
is very deadly. I mean, it could happen to professionals, hobbyists. I mean, it can and will happen, and it is something very ugly. And if you don't catch it in time or you don't know what you're doing,
Right.
you wipe out everything very fast.
Very fast.
Yeah.
People don't understand that, or they don't. I don't know if they don't want to understand it, or they just think it won't happen to them. But I see it so many times over and over again.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people get lucky, and you know, when it keeps happening and they keep doing it and they keep getting away with it, they begin to spread it as it's their truth. You know, this never happens to me. I don't know what all these people are talking about because it's never happened to me. So they think of it as, you know, we're crazy, but you know, I mean, it does. And I mean, I got to say, at least maybe people like you and the other discus sellers, you know, maybe you guys are all doing a lot better job now because, you know, everyone's getting away with it. So congratulations.
Oh, yeah. No, it's risky. I mean, and it, like I said, it's definitely one of the risks that we take bringing in the fish. You know, especially dealing with several farms, and that's
Right.
that's what I kind of do now. I kind of source from a few different farms around Malaysia. I try to keep the numbers a little smaller than I used to before. I would bring in 6 or 7 different farms, and
Right.
that was really scary. And every time the fish came in, I mean, you would really have to make sure everything's separate as far as hoses, and
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
make
Yeah.
sure you wash your hands,
Yeah.
sanitize your hands after every tank, and it was a lot to do. But now I kind of narrow it down to 2 or 3 different farms um, that I work with across Malaysia, and I know their practices over there and stuff like that. But
Are you more or less dealing with like 4 different farms to bring in better quality? Is what your goal is with that, or variety?
I am, yes, a little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both variety, because I mean, even big farms overseas, they'll specialize in just a certain amount of strains.
Right.
Every once in a while, that they get like a mutation and they try to breed that, but it's this past shipment was my biggest shipment ever. We imported 63 boxes,
Wow.
about 1,460 fish. Came in. Yeah, so luckily this past shipment, there's very little DOAs we had. That does happen also
Right.
coming from Malaysia, especially where I'm located. I'm located in Myrtle Beach, so I've got to actually drive to Atlanta.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is a 12-hour round trip.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 12 hours round trip. That's not including the time that I got to wait when I get there, um, if they're not late.
Right. Right. That's
And
exactly what happened to me. I had to go. I'm in Michigan, and I had to go to Chicago, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And now it's only 6 hours. Well, 12 there and back.
yeah, no, getting there, and then once you get back, it's another 4 or 5 hours
Right.
after that long trip. So your back, your legs are hurting. You can barely think straight.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But it's exciting. It's always something new pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
I
Yeah.
want to pause and say something real quick. First, hi everybody that came in. I haven't had a chance to address anybody by name, so I'm just going to say hi to everybody. For those who are tuning in who are not subscribers, he is going to be doing a giveaway, but you need to be subscribed to the channel for at least 5 minutes before the giveaway. So I would go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can get
Click.
the giveaway. It's just one click away. I also saw a question that was a good question. Somebody asked, what is cross-contamination? And cross-contamination is essentially when you introduce a new fish that carries new pathogens, new bacteria, new viruses, new parasites that the fish hasn't been exposed to, and it can cause sickness. That sickness is what we refer to as cross-contamination because it was caused by something that you brought in with a new fish. And it's not always bacteria. It can be viral. It can be parasites. It can be anything.
Right.
Anything that you're bringing in potentially that could make your new fish sick, or vice versa. You bring one in that your new fish have an immunity to, say, a bacteria, but the new fish you're bringing in doesn't. And then the new fish gets sick. That's also cross-contamination. So it can go either way. But I did want to address that while we were still on the subject of cross-contamination.
right.
I agree. Well said.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ben Ryan has ordered from you today. And somebody else was at the shop today. Josh Lindler was at the shop.
Josh was out there today. Hey Josh, if you're on the channel, thanks for stopping by. Ski told me you was there. Sorry I wasn't. I will I'll catch up with you sometime. Yeah.
Hit me up an instant message.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jennifer, the way to avoid it is by doing a quarantine. You do want to medicate your new fish coming in and clean them up a little bit before you put them in with your new fish. And we usually use hero fish from the existing tank in the quarantine tank just to see if there's going to be a problem. It's easier to medicate them in the quarantine tank than to put them all into the main tank and then have to treat the entire main tank.
Right.
So.
And they all don't get sick the same. Some die, some live, some drag out.
Right. That depends on the strength of the fish.
Right.
Actually, someone sent me a comment, I think it was a few months ago or something, that the way that they did that, instead of actually adding a hero fish, was they would just take cups of water from their old tank and add it to the quarantine tank.
Right. And that's not 100%, but it will work, as well as using like a sponge filter from the existing tank.
So Davana, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. So what I was going to say, so that first time when I was importing and went through all this stuff, cross-contamination, the first time I chased it around the fish room for probably 2 months. But the second time, after cleaning everything up and still not following a proper quarantine, actually that is what I did. I was told to infect all the fish at one time and then treat it. And that was like a 2-week treatment after doing that. But that's what we ended up doing, was infecting the whole facility with, because I eventually was going to pass around. The tanks were too close. Everything was high humidity. It was real tight quarters. The first time, man, it took like months from one tank. Next day, another tank. Next day, another tank. Next day, another tank. So when it happened to me the second time, that's exactly what I did. I added water all the time.
Yeah. If the tanks are close, and especially at I don't even have lids or nothing like that, it will spread, and it's fast, and it's a wicked thing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, some of the bacterias are airborne, so they can very easily go tank to tank. So
very fast.
Yeah. See, Oscar said, I always start with a filter in an existing tank. Personally, me, if I was starting a quarantine tank, I would use a brand new sponge filter with your new fish, just because you are bringing those pathogens and everything else from an existing tank to your new fish. And when the fish come out of transit, they are stressed, so they are more susceptible to all these other pathogens and stuff like that. So I always recommend start off everything fresh, clean tank, a new sponge filter. That's the way
they make plenty of bottled bacterias and stuff that you can use to quick start.
Right.
So that always helps. I don't even use that though. As long as you're using prime and doing daily water changes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can pretty much handle it just with the water change, especially if you're picking a nice small, right-sized quarantine tank. Just for that reason, you can just blast water 50-60% water changes within 5-10 minutes.
Right.
Yep. Hi, Barry. Is Katie with us too, or is it just you this evening? So, Jovan, you just changed your quarantine stuff recently. Added deworming to it.
I did. So this past shipment, we did the Lavemisol treatment to the fish. I was actually real surprised because in the past when I've done it, they kind of stop eating for a day or two after. But this time it was like never even dosed them with it. They were aggressive eating the day after.
Yeah.
So kind of surprised me.
Yeah. If they're healthy, they shouldn't have a reaction. It's harder on the ones that are stressed or have a lowered immune system.
Right.
But as long as they're healthy, which you had already had them in, I think, for 2 weeks already.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so they had already settled in, and you had already done the other treatments on them. So, yeah, they were already healthy. So.
Yep, that's a good point you guys make, because, again, when you're bringing in fish and quarantine fish, you don't start off with like Lavemisol on a fish like day 2, day 3 when it just arrived. There's the right choice of meds for that type of fish just arriving in your facility or in your tank or whatever, however you want to go about it, especially in import. So yeah, they go through a lot. They're bagged up for a long time.
Oh yeah. And another thing with quarantine, I mean, for the first week or so, it's kind of just babying them back,
Right.
to the health that they need to be. That they're stressed out. They were contained inside of a small bag for anywhere between 24 to 60 hours in a bag.
Right.
But they just need time to recover from that.
Right.
Okay, somebody else is going to have to answer Martin Skinner's question because I don't use aquaflavin at all.
Yeah, it's been a while since I used it. Good stuff though. It's got its things that it's good for, especially like fin rot, tail rot.
I always use aquaflavin on aquaflavin and salt on my new fish when they come in for the first about 5 days, along with daily water changes. Sometimes twice daily water changes. Like I said, the first 5-6 days are real crucial, just to baby the fish back up and get them swimming. Sometimes they'll lay down for the first 4 or 5 days.
Right. Oh yeah.
This past shipment, I had a really, really nice scorpion lay down for like about 7 days.
Wow.
And I kind of started getting worried, but after 7 days, he popped back up and he's back to normal.
Nice.
And it's not uncommon. It's definitely not uncommon.
No, not at all.
It happens, and
yeah, especially that happens a lot with the bigger fish. When the bigger fish are shipped, they'll lay down for a while.
Yeah. I've seen it more with the bigger fish than the babies. The babies, you plop them in and they're ready to eat. I've done that with all of the juveniles that I've gotten. You just put them in the tank and they're ready to eat. They want to know where the food is right away. I still wait a little while before I feed them, but they're always hungry when we put them in. I just think that they do better with shipping than the adults do.
Oh, I am definitely.
They do definitely for sure. When I import even the small ones, for the first 3 or 4 days, they're kind of like in a daze, and they're kind of just
shell shock.
Yeah, but after 3 or 4 days, they kind of snap out of it. They're taking the food and stuff like that.
Right. Well, that's different from me or Tammy getting fish from Hans in the States, which are back 24 hours at the most, where your fish are probably taking off food for a week. They're put in a facility, a bagging facility, and no food, just water. So they go through a lot more, especially imports. Yeah.
I believe it. They spend a lot more time in the bags.
Yeah.
So, I think they pack them a little better and they put medications in there as well. But still, that's got to be a hard trip.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I can't imagine somebody sticking me in a box and shipping me somewhere for that long.
They do it well too.
Yeah,
they do.
Absolutely. Oh, so you're not in the shop on the weekends? So
I'm not. I'm away on the weekends. I typically leave Friday, and I try to come back Sunday night if I catch a flight. If not, I'm back there Monday mornings. Yeah, days are definitely busy days. We get all the orders coming in from Thursday all the way to Sunday.
Right.
So we got to push out all those orders, and we had a lot of video requests.
Because of people like me.
Oh no! I mean, heck, if you're paying top dollar for your fish, you want to see exactly what you get.
Yeah.
You can't blame anybody. I mean.
Right. That's true.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I used to like. I'm the type of guy that would. Okay, I trust you, thank you. And then I get the fish, I'm disappointed, and I don't say shit, and I bottle it up, and then later on I come off the wall about something else on you. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I always was too. So yeah, I mean, it's good that people will do that, and it's good that you will do it for them and show them videos. I mean, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We do offer video chat. for our existing customers and people that are ordering fish like over 5 inch or 5 inch or
Oh, that's cool.
you know,
That's a good idea.
yeah.
It still doesn't have my scorpions yet.
I've been so backed up. So we released our fish last Thursday, not this past Thursday, but the previous Thursday. And we've had to sit in about a week period. We had about 100 orders come in. So it was definitely an overwhelming week. While I'm at the shop,
Holy
I've got another
shit.
three that's there, and he comes in the mornings and he feeds them. He changes the water, and I get there around 11 o'clock, and we are bagging fish from 11 to about 6:15. We try to push it, and then
Wow.
we take the fish, and they've got to be at FedEx at 6:45.
Right.
If not, you're not there at 6:45 on the dot, you've wasted all day long bagging fish.
Oh man.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's it.
Imagine that if you had a traffic jam or something and couldn't get there on time. Wow.
Oh yeah, especially the traffic in Myrtle Beach.
Hey, did you have you ever sent fish to yourself yet?
I have not.
Well, I have. 'Cause when I first started with FedEx, my first shipment, I sent it to myself. So yeah, I came home, I was all like, "Oh wow, somebody sent me fish. They have boxes just like their boxes look just like mine."
So here's the question, Carrie. Did it take all night for them to get there? Were they delivered the next day?
They were delivered the next day. They were probably scratching their heads too.
We've had a couple of questions. Crown Tail had a good one. How do you acclimate your new discus, and do your water parameters match your breeders?
So if that question directed to me,
Yeah.
how do I quarantine my fish?
Now, how do you acclimate them?
Oh, acclimation. So what I do is when they come in the big styrofoam containers, I'll add water from my watering totes. Add water straight to the container and let the bags float inside of that for about 10 minutes or so. And then I just cut the top of the bag open, scoop the fish out, and put them right into the tank. I try to get them out of the bag as soon as possible. They've already dealt with a lot of stress coming from overseas.
Right.
Typically with my fish, they've been in transit for the low end 55, sometimes upwards of like 65-ish hours. So
Yeah.
best thing to do is just get them in that tank as soon as possible. And then for the first, like I said, 4 or 5 days, treat them with salt and acroflavin along with daily water changes.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's say, what meds do you recommend to have on hand? I recommend Aquarium Salt,
But,
and that's pretty much, other than your quarantine meds, which is praziquantel, metronidazole, and Lavemisol. Those are your quarantine meds. So, I don't know, Jovan, what do you recommend?
I recommend pretty much the same thing. Aquarium salt goes a long ways with the discus. I found, especially once after they've been shipped, I always recommend salt for about the first 4 or 5 days, especially with water changes after your water change. Now after that, I know some people like to add it every time, but I don't recommend it.
No.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's dealing with like real soft water, things like that, then it's not a bad idea. But not just using aquarium salt. There would have to be like a combination of Epsom salt, aquarium salt, calcium. That would be a way to. I mean, but yeah, to add it every day, that's just silly.
Yeah. And now for everybody out there, there is a big difference between aquarium salt and Epsom salt.
Yes.
Aquarium salt is just sodium chloride, and Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. Magnesium sulfate is good for bloat and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
That's a question I do definitely get a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of people. You would think a lot of people would know that, but a lot of people really don't. That's a big difference.
Well, I mean, chemistry is a little bit boring, and that is, from chemistry class.
True that. True that.
So I didn't like chemistry. I don't do well with water chemistry.
Mhm.
I know what GH and KH is because I have to. Doesn't mean I have to know everything about it.
Hey, if the swimming pool is sparkling clean, we don't need to test it. We're going.
I mean, I don't want to say it publicly, but it's probably been 5 or 6 years since I've tested my water. So.
Oh yeah, I'll say it publicly. I don't test my water anymore.
Well, I tested it. It went bad in like 2017 or something like that.
Yeah. I pretty much know the system with my water. It changes a little in the winter, it goes back to normal in the summer, and it varies very little. But there's some change with the winter, summer months. But for the most part, it's been the same for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Right. Night Rider, it depends on what you're treating for. I mean, if they're just looking a little uncomfortable, maybe they're itchy a little bit, you can just add a tablespoon per 10 gallons. But if you've got a sick fish and you think that salt may help that, which in a lot of cases it will, you can add up to 5 tablespoons per 10 gallons easily. You can actually add more than that, but I've never seen a need to go over 5 tablespoons per 10.
Yeah, unless you're going to do like a short bath or a dip or something.
Yeah, something like that. Crown Towel wants to know how you feed them during the quarantine process, and do you feed or culture any live food for them?
So I will feed them. I try and offer them food after about the second day, just in small portions to start with. I'll offer them bloodworms, frozen bloodworms, and other than that, I'll try to offer them Royal Menu pellets. It's a really great pellet, and all fish that I've had seem to take to it really well. Right after they come out of transit, which is kind of weird because sometimes with a new type of pellet or any type of food, it takes fish several times to take to it. But they all seem to take to the Royal Menu pellet really well.
Kim likes that Royal Menu too.
Yeah. We've used it for I think going on about 2 years now, and it's definitely a great pellet.
Right. That's like what you're saying is so there are discus foods that are made for discus, but some of these foods it takes the discus 5-6 days to really go after. And if you're mixing up their menu and adding like stuff that they like, even when this food comes back around on the menu for dinner, say, they're still kind of not real keen on it. But your point is they take to the Royal Menu, kind of like they take to the prime reef flakes, no problem. So I'm going to try that. I'm actually going to try it. I've got a few cans I was given from Discus America, from Mike at Discus America. He's real big on that stuff too. And I've heard exactly what you just said. I keep hearing that from a lot of people. So
yeah, I need to get some samples of that because I haven't tried that one. I mean, I've got tons of food that I've tried. Most of them are sitting up here. But for the granules, mine just like the tetracolor bits. I have not had a discus turn its nose up at the tetracolor bit.
Yeah. I was looking for that the other day. I couldn't find any.
I order them online, but I order 8 or 10 of them at a time. And it's the same with the prime reef flakes. I order, a large quantity of them because all the discus eat it.
They love it, but it's freaking stinky, man. It stinks up my whole basement. That's the only thing I hate about it. And then for some reason, like Petco and certain companies have where the flakes are nice and big and large in the can. They look great and they're great for eating. And then some other places, like if you order them off Amazon, they come in banged up and they're pulverized to like powder. It's like as soon as you pour it in your tank, you trash in the whole tank. So I don't even like using it when it's like that.
My Petco quit carrying them. I don't know why they don't have the prime reef flakes anymore. So
yeah, I'm gonna try that Royal Menu. I keep hearing a lot of good stuff about it.
But
Yeah.
the viper bites, I got some samples of it, and the fish don't really want to go for it. So, and
Yeah.
the big bites the same. They're okay with it. They'll eat it, but they don't go for it like they do the other stuff.
Well, like Giovanna just said, exactly what he said. They just like if they take to it, that's a good food because they're.
I'll guarantee you, your fish will take to it the first time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's foods out there like that. They are. They are.
I don't know if it must be the smell they like or what, but they take to it right away.
Tammy, get on it. We need to know. We want to know.
I'm gonna
New
find
stud.
out.
Discus smell.
Yeah. I'm gonna find out for y'all too. Wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw this one to you, Carrie. Somebody's asking what parameters you recommend for breeding, TDS and conductivity.
You know, again, my water is moderate. I'm not real hard here, and I'm not real soft, so I'm right in the middle, moderate, not hard, not soft. So let's go from a scale from 100 to 1,000. I'm at about 500. So if I was to do a reading of KH, I'd probably come out at about 7 KH and about 7 GH general hardness. My water conductivity is about 240, and I like to get it around 150 for breeding. So I will cut my tap water. I'll mix 75% tap water in a 55-gallon drum, and then I'll just add 25% RO water, let it bubble and acclimate overnight, and that's usually the where I like to stick to. And I get a nice big spawns out of that, good hatches. Sticking around that number. So that's kind of my happy number. About 150, 125, 150 conductivity. My pH is probably around 7.2.
Right.
So.
Jovan, Katie and Mary would like to know if your beef heart clouds the water.
I really haven't found it to cloud the water. I typically only feed my juveniles. The beef heart from like my 2.5 inch to about my 4 inch size. I'm really not trying to grow them per se. Just trying to maintain them and make sure that all the weight that they have lost being fasted coming overseas, that they kind of gain it all back before shipping them out. So you're not receiving like a skinny fish where you can see the bones and stuff like that. I mean, I definitely pack the aquarium full of beef heart during feedings, mainly because I do 100% water change right after. I definitely haven't found it. If I feed it in small portions, I haven't found it to cloud the water.
Right. And we haven't had that issue, but we make our own, so I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah, I think it's more with feeding the proper amount, the right amount of time that the fish are how many fish you have and how fast they're going to consume that portion. If you're getting that just right, then yeah, I can't even beef heart that does cloud the water, doing that right. But yeah, I mean, I've seen beef hearts cloud water, certain kinds, especially, and a lot of it's more due to overfeeding.
Definitely.
Right. Josh asked what the favorite strain is. I'm not sure if he's asking you, Jovan, what is your favorite strain?
Man, I kind of actually, to be honest with you, after you've been in this hobby or any other hobby for a certain while, your passion kind of starts going down a little bit. But last year, I received my first shipment of wilds. And I received about a dozen Diamunda blueface Heggles. And that kind of reignited my passion for the hobby.
Nice.
They were exceptional fish. I mean, they were just something different. I've always definitely been a fan of the Heckles, Heckle crosses, and so when they came in, it was kind of wow. Yeah.
Refreshment. That happens to me here and there. I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I like the wilds, but my pH is too high, which I keep saying that, but I was talking to the veterinarian that I go to here a couple hours from here, and he and I were discussing it, and it is possible for me to get wilds and have them at my pH, but it would take about 3 weeks to get them adjusted to it. So that's something I may look at in the future. It's very, very difficult to lower the pH of my water. I don't even know if acid would do it, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
It would just rise back up.
Well, the problem is the best acids are the worst acids, like muriatic. Muriatic is going to work fast. You're still going to have to let the water bubble for 48 hours to get a proper pH reading. But what muriatic does, it takes the oxygen out of the water, and it constantly will do that. And then phosphoric acid's good too, but if you already got high phosphate, you're adding things that have phosphates, then now you're dealing with algae blooms and all kind of other issues can happen from doing that. So, but I mean, it does work. I used to do phosphoric acid and drop the pH and do all that stuff. And I mean, yeah, you're probably going to get better slime coat, better feeding, less bacteria issues with fry later on down the road. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than I'd rather just stick with what I'm doing with the higher pH. And if I have issues with fry, then I treat them as I go. I usually don't. I keep them pretty clean, but every now and then you get lazy and things happen, especially when you get overwhelmed. But I mean, that's what you had to do. But phosphoric, I mean, you really had to add a lot. And that caused a lot of algae blooms, but you had to wait over 48 hours to get a proper pH reading that was accurate. So that was, so now you're storing water for days, make cooking water. I used to call it cooking water, making water, whatever. So, now it's another job. So, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't waste my time with it either. And I stopped doing that. And I breed just as good just doing the tap with the RO than ever adding the acid and doing all that. It's just
right.
a mess.
I say because of my RO, the way it does with my RO, there's no way that I can get a lower pH.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It would have to be done with acid, so I don't really have a choice in that one. We've got somebody that had the problem with the 4-week die-offs. They're wanting to know how to treat gill flukes, but you and I have discussed it's not necessarily gill flukes, especially if the pair is clean.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm going to go, a lot of people don't like hearing the high pH water. Well, you're dealing with a lot more like gill disease, gill bacteria infections. It will seem like gill flukes and possibly could be gill flukes. But, if you're cleaning your pairs and before you're breeding, then you have to rule out the flukes, especially if you're doing proper treatments and you're eradicating the flukes. Then something else is attacking the fry. But I can tell you from experience, I've removed gill flukes from all my discs many times. Still had problems with fries and fries never had flukes. So we were dealing with like bacteria and gill infections. You can look up BGD online and it'll explain a lot. It happens to a lot of smaller fish, fry, more or less. The mortality rate is high with small fry. And that's with all fish. So, I prefer Prazi for treating flukes, and that's my way to eradicate them. I like to move them from treat them in tanks, a couple days, skip a couple days, go back 3 days, do it again. Then I like to move the fish to a brand new tank that's not had any fish in it, or at least anything that was alive in it is now gone, lack of host, so to speak. And then treat again. And you need room to do all this kind of stuff. So that's why there's so many different meds and different methods, and you got to kind of do what's best and easiest for you. So there are many meds that will kill flukes. It's just doing the proper treatment and going about it right.
Right. And I want to explain something because I always throw that one to Carrie because it deals with the 4-week syndrome. The reason that I always throw that one to Carrie, I know the answer to it, but since I have never experienced it, I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, I have never seen it in any of my fry. So I really don't feel like, with the lack of experiencing the issue, I don't feel like I should talk about it. So I do always throw that to Carrie and let Carrie answer that.
And here's another thing too. I mean, don't think that there's not real bad genetics out there, because you can breed some fish with very bad genetics and they will fool you that you think they're sick, and they're not sick. It's just they're such a weak strain, or whatever happened. And every spawn will vary. Things can happen while they're eggs and while they're developing, so
Yeah.
things can change there too. So you could think they're sick or something's wrong with them, and it might not have nothing to do with any of that. So there's a lot to it. There really is. And I mean, there's times where like I'm gonna breed. I'm gonna open up a facility. Look at this, man. I got fry here, fry there, fry there. Nothing ever happening. Never getting no syndrome. And I'll start building up a little more, and then all of a sudden, all my fry are crashing. It's like, oh my God, what happened now? What went wrong? What changed? I don't have flukes, so there's things. Too much. Sometimes too much big of a water change, or adding too much food and not doing enough water changes, or not having well cycled tanks. When you got poor filtration and you're pounding food on 200 fry in a 75, man, that doesn't last long. So all the things, it's like a chain, and if you break one of those links, what happened you did today might not show up 4 or 5 days later. So that's why it's good to keep logs and keep track of what you're doing. And I don't do that. I should practice what I preach, but I could see it being very necessary and helpful to people that keep track of what you're doing and how you're going about your day with your fish and what you do. And sometimes you'll be able to look back at that and know, and it'll help and it'll come in handy. So,
Yeah.
100% keep logs. I remember when I was definitely starting off, I kept a little handbook, and everything I did, if the fish turned left, I was writing it down. Water changes schedule. At that time, I was testing my water daily. I mean, everything. You definitely take logs, and then you can look back on it 3 or 4 days later and say, "Oh well, I've made a mistake right here. Let me do that for the next time." So definitely log keeping is a
So here's a perfect example. I opened up. I had a retail store. I had a wholesale store. I had my whole basement filled for breeding. I mean, I was like all in, full scale, salt water, everything. And I finally got out of it for a little while and took a break for 2 years. And of course, I got back into it. Well, I got a couple pairs going, and I was trying to breed them. And I was like, oh, I can't remember my conductivity, so I was keeping it at 80, and I was playing with it up and down, but I couldn't get nothing going. I went back to my old website, which is still up, but not in use. And I started reading my website, and I'm like, oh, 125, 150 conductivity. That's where I was. And I went right back to that, and boom, success. So, logs are good, man. Keeping track of stuff.
absolutely.
I'm getting old and I'm getting forgetful. So when you get older, you don't, and then you like you were saying, sometimes, and then you think you're good and you get relaxed and you think, oh yeah, I know everything there is to know about this. I don't need to remember this or remember that. And it'll bite you. It will. So I agree. Keep logs, everyone.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm doing some stuff. I'll be right back.
Yeah, what are you doing, Tammy? You got a circle. You're like an easy button now. Could I touch it? See what it does.
Are you touching it, Carrie?
What's I was.
Here I am. No, I've got a dog that wandered in the room. So I stepped away for a minute.
No problem. I was just babbling on like usual.
Oh, no, you're fine. Perfectly fine. I enjoy hearing your stories. Absolutely. Country Girl says she has one discus that eats everything and one discus that's extremely picky and will only eat half sunk, including beef heart and royal menu pellets. The thing with beef heart is they are not a top feeder. They are a middle feeder. They like it when their food's floating down. They'll also pick off the bottom, but they don't really like to eat off the top of the water. They would rather have it more in the middle of the tank.
And that's why I hate freeze-dried bloodworms, because they float for fucking 3 days.
They leave their shells at the top of the tank too.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Always cleaning up. Somebody asked about the media and the filtration systems. We use ceramics and bioballs with floss. I don't know what Carrie uses, so.
Same thing. I a little bit of lava rock, pork beads, curling, old hair curlers work good too. Anything plastic like that's coarse and porous. But that's pretty much what I use too. Sponge, a lot of sponge.
Right. Richie said that he stopped treating with PP treatment thanks to Carrie, and he's not had any issues with his fry. He's doing it because it was the thing to do. And that is something that should never happen. You should never treat your discus just because somebody said you should.
Right.
Especially not your babies.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it in the past. I like PP, but I like it more as a tip. I like to dip fish and be done with it. I don't like doing it in the tanks. I mean, it is a remarkable med, and again, for certain purposes and certain reasons, for ease, certain times, it can be handy. But yeah, you don't really need to do your fry all the time. Really, you don't.
We use it for sterilizing tanks. We don't use it on fish at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just everybody's got their own choices that they make, and that's one that I won't make.
Right. And you got to remember too. So Tammy's in a different situation from Giovanna. I'm in a different situation. He's importing fish. Everything I have here, I bred myself, so they're all in house. I don't even have Metro on hand because I'm never going to have that problem. Unless I fill a tank with frozen cold water, which recently done. But things like that couldn't cause problems. But I usually keep a pretty good, clean setup. I don't bring in a lot of stuff. But there are different situations for different meds.
Yeah, I bring stuff in from all over the place. I've got from Hans and Kenny and Jeffrey and Discus Guy and Uncle Sam's. And no, I do not recommend all of the places that I have listed.
Discus Daycare Center.
I do have some Watleys sitting in my fish room. Those were brought in as a rescue. I've had Chicago discus here. So I bring in discus from all over the place, and I've only seen cross-contamination one time, and that was with some juveniles that were brought in, and we ended up having to mix them, and we had a cross-contamination. So, and it's nasty. I knew what was going to happen when I did it.
Cross-contamination, I haven't seen it since I've been back into discus, and I can't say I've been super, super on top of things when I first got back into it, but I haven't seen cross-contamination in a while. I will make sure I don't mix fish. That's because of now I'm where I'm at, what I got, everything's my own, and but when I first got back into it and was collecting from other people and a lot of sellers, I was a little sloppy to start again, but I did get lucky, so cross your fingers. All
right, Carrie, I'm going to hit you with a few more questions because I know Susan's waiting on you. I didn't forget.
You just peeked around the corner.
Right. How much water are you changing for your breeders?
Breeders, I only do like 20% every other day. Every other day. That's all I do on breeders. I'm actually only doing 25% on all grow outs too. I'm doing that daily. So I'm trying to keep not crowded tanks.
And everybody's situation is different. We're doing about 80%, but with our high pH, we need to do a higher amount of water changes just to keep the bacteria load down. So it's different for different water systems. And that's something to always keep in mind.
I know. And it's sad to see that, we tried everyone, even, Giovanna has ways and you have your ways and I have my ways. And sometimes we're like just telling people, and people insinuate that we demand these kind of, it's like, no, you got to do what's best for you and your water setup. And so some people take us a little too serious on what we're saying. And it's just like, well, this is what I do. It doesn't mean you have to do it. There are many ways to raise and keep discus. It's one of the ways that works for me and one of the ways that works for you. And that's just how it is. So, and that's a good point that you brought up. Definitely.
I mean, it is something that you and I do have different things that we do, which I don't do the water changes. He does, but and I'm not gonna lie about that. He does that. He does all that. So that I don't have to. But I mean, we do have different standards, of how we do things, and a lot of that is based on your water parameters, where your fish came from, what size your fish are, and all of that. There's so much that goes into determining what you need to do, and it's something you have to sit down and think about for yourself.
What type of equipment are you working with? All that.
Absolutely. Jovan, somebody asked what your quarantine procedure is. What meds do you use in quarantine?
So for the first 5 days, acroflavin and salt. Usually by this time they're up, swimming and about. I'll let them rest for a day. Then I'll begin the praziquantel treatment. And I usually let that sit in the water for about 2 days. And after that, they're free. Just daily water changes after. And the weekend before I release them, I'll do another praziquantel treatment with them. This past shipment, I did include the Lavemisol treatment midweek. And then I waited about 3 days, 3 or 4 days, and then I did the final praziquantel treatment on them.
Nice. You're doing a lot. You're doing better than a lot of people will do. And,
yeah.
And I'll tell you what.
Quarantine is a little bit different because we don't start with an antibiotic, but we do the praziquantel and Metro, the Prazi for 5 days, Metro for 10. And then we go give them a break, and then we switch to the Lavemisol for 3 treatments, one on the first day, the 5th day, and the 13th day. And after talking to the veterinarian, and he's the head veterinarian for the Tennessee Aquarium, I have decided that we're going to also add kanamycin to the treatments for our quarantine. So he said that would help with cross-contamination. So we're going to do that.
Very good.
Considering how many discus we bring in from so many different sources. And here I'm talking to Jovan about getting some fish. So I'm going to have a new source in the fish room. So that's always something. And somebody asked about what you would recommend because they're having issues with cross-contamination even after quarantine. You do need to treat in quarantine. And if you are having issues, I would add an antibiotic, preferably a gram-negative like kanamycin or nitrofurazone, to your quarantine procedure.
Right. So So here's another thing that I went through as well. So I did get cross-contamination, and I think it was the time where I chased it around the whole hatchery for 2 months. Felt that I had it under control. There was no more visible signs, except every time I pulled fry, when the fry were with the parents, they were fine. As soon as I pulled them, 3 days later, they would all huddle up, slime up, and crash. And this was like way past 6 weeks. So I had to go through a re-quarantine of everything before breathing again. But that was bad. That was happening a lot. And it just kept sticking with the new fry that were being born. And I couldn't get rid of it. So I had to do a serious treatment, had to stop breeding. So yeah, that was a pretty shitty time, but that is kind of how it works.
Right.
It'll stick.
Francis, I did not miss yours. And hi, I hope you're doing well. I haven't heard from you for a minute. Francis wants to know what strain you're working with, Henry.
Who, me?
Yep.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore, Francis. I'm kind of just letting the discus do their thing, and whatever happens. I mean, I'm working with some pigeon bloods that, they carry the golden gene, but it's very weak fish, very poor shaped fish. All of them are females when they're true goldens, but, we'll see what happens. I've got some other ideas. There's still time and room to do stuff, but just with what I got right now, I just feel I'm kind of just doing what I'm doing, and maybe one day I'll really get going on something again. I just don't really have it in me right now, and summer's coming up. So yeah, I mean, I got a little bit. I got snake skins, I got pigeons, I got turks, I got, you know, a little bit of stuff.
I showed Carrie a picture today of one of the snake skins I got from him. By the way, he's also one of my suppliers. He's growing really big, and he's starting to get his blue now, so he looks really pretty.
Yeah, mine are actually, all the males just started filling out. All the lines, fine lines are coming in on them. And, you know, the red Turk, you know, because snakeskins are a mutation, so they don't breed true. So they throw a red Turk as well, which is like it's like a scribbled, like, I don't know. It's really, really cool. I have to get some pictures up, but I'm kind of like interested in those as well. But, you know, the pair I bred was, both of them were snakeskin. And actually, the way you're supposed to breed snakeskins is you're not supposed to breed them together. You're supposed to cross them with the intermediate 9-bar, and that's how you go about it. Except for when you're doing spotted snakeskins, that's a different way. But yeah, they're cool fish, definitely. So there's something I'm working with as well.
All right, Carrie, I don't want Susan mad at me.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna get going. You know,
I'm going to give you one more, and then I want you to go and take her out for the night.
All right.
Night Rider says he thinks his big mistake was using too high a percentage of RO mixture with raising fry.
Yes, can happen easily. Terrible. A lot of people say that. You know, it's like, oh, you can't always be too hard. You can be too soft. And when you're too soft, there's nothing stable. Everything's crashing real fast. You get a lot of problems. Lose a lot of fry that way. Not good.
And I want to add to that too. When you're using RO, when you have young fry, they are not getting the amount of minerals that they need unless you're mineralizing the water. So we go straight back to tap as soon as they go free swimming.
Yeah, nothing's stable. Nothing's there. Nothing's stable. It's just so fast, faster than they can develop. So that's the big problem. So
yeah. So.
But I do want to say before I go, Giovanna, it was awesome. You're such a busy man. I really appreciate you joining us and being here and taking the time out. And even for being out of town and you're still here, that's awesome, man. I wish you great success. You've come a long way. I've been watching you the whole time. You've been doing well, man. And congratulations to the family and everything, man. I wish you great success, my friend.
That means a lot, Carrie. Thank you very much.
Yep. You know, finally good to meet you, kind of, and somewhat person, but you guys, man, good luck with everything, man.
Very much, Carrie.
Later, Carrie.
All right, good night, Tammy. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Carrie's such a nice man. He's taking his wife out tonight, so he couldn't stay with us the whole time. So, all right. They had more questions pop up. I'm going to scroll back up and find them for you. Gail Gooden says that 2 discus that were brought back to Kentucky are doing good.
Oh, hey, Gail. I think she stopped there, her and her husband, Thursday night and bagged up some fish for them, and they were headed back home the next morning.
Awesome. Do you artificially raise fry?
I do not, and I never have. Even when I was breeding years ago, I always let the parents raise the fry, and I moved the fry out after about 2.5 weeks. My breeding didn't last very, very long. It was short-lived. I mean, as you know, breeders out there, it's a lot of work. So it was, I didn't, I never did artificial raise any type of.
Right. Night Rider says we need to save this video. This video will be on my YouTube channel, and it's not going anywhere. So it'll be there. Crown Tail would like to know if you can use waste RO water for fly growth. Yes, absolutely. All the minerals from the water that are removed when you run your RO are removed and put into that wastewater. So that wastewater is actually full of the minerals that they need for growing. So, Jovan, when's your next shipment coming in?
So I'm about close to 40% sold through this shipment here. So we're expecting another shipment probably the second week of April.
Okay, I look forward to seeing it. I saw some of the pretty snake skins that you've got right now, those pretty scorpions.
Oh yeah, I've still got a lot.
You can tell I'm partial to them. I mean, that's my t-shirt has a scorpion on it. So I'm very partial to them.
Oh yeah, I've got some nice ones. When I get back Monday, we can do a video chat.
I saw the ones in the live stream, but you didn't stay on them for very long, so I didn't get a good look at them.
Yeah, no, I'm going to try to start definitely doing a live chat at least once a week. Every time I do it, I definitely get a big crowd and a lot of comments and a lot of good stuff together. So everybody like those, and I'll start trying to do them definitely more often than I have been.
Jennifer said she likes the white butterflies, but the shipping costs are crazy. Jennifer, I think you're in one of the other countries, aren't you? You're not in the U.S., I think. Josh said the jumbos are absolutely stunning that you got in. You have jumbos of the scorpions?
I do.
Oh, see, now they're all telling me about your scorpions.
Actually, I have been so busy this past week. I haven't even had time to list my jumbo fish on the website. So they're all still available. I did have a customer come in this past week, and he bought 4 of the jumbos from me. But this coming week, I will 100% have them listed on my site. Just with the jumbos, because if you're paying that kind of money, you definitely want to measure it out. Definitely have that updated this week.
Right.
Yeah.
Pause for just a second, Jovan. I'm going to pop you off screen and then back on and see if that corrects your mic. Your mic is fading in and out. I know it has to do with the live stream website, so I'm going to see if I put you back in if it fixes it.
All righty. Can you hear me now?
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Crown Tail wants to know what the difference is between the jumbo and the high discus.
The difference is the size of the fish. So I consider a jumbo fish anything above 6.5 inch. For the high discus, it's a different shape of fish. Like I said, the main thing is just the size of the fish.
Right. Hi, David. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you made it. So, y'all, I know we didn't announce it very early that we were going to be doing a giveaway tonight. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, you'll have to be subscribed to the channel in order to win. And I did find out, and I haven't figured out how he did it without me realizing he was messaging me. He messaged me and told me what I was giving away. So, I still haven't figured out how you did that because I did not see you typing. But let me pull that up real quick and I'll tell you guys. And I'm very jealous because, you know, one of those prizes would go a long way to getting me some fish. We're doing a $200 gift card from Myrtle Beach Discus. We're also doing a package of Wormer X. I don't know what size it is, so but we're also doing a package of Hexa X.
They're 20-gram packs each.
20-gram packs each. Okay. So that's what we're going to be giving away. And the $200 gift certificate, I sure could use that, but I'm not going to be in the drawing since I'm going to be doing the drawing. So, Make sure you get that in. You have to be a subscriber for 5 minutes, and that way you guys, because I know a lot of you have come from Jovin's page, and I want to make sure that you guys can get in. I had to do that because we were getting a lot of trolls in the live stream, so we started making it for subscribers only. So make sure you get subscribed. Oh, maybe Kerry forgot to leave the studio, so we're gonna kick him out. I know, Josh. If I had that money, I could get me a jumbo. I probably still have to pay some on top of that. But I got sure enough used one. So, Jovan, what days and times are you open?
So our showroom is open by appointments. We're typically there from about 9 in the morning to about 5 in the afternoon. And then I also come back at night from about 7
The mic's messing up again.
See,
Okay, I hear you now.
Hear me now. So our showroom's open by appointments only. Typically, someone's there from about 10 to about 5 p.m. And then I come back again at nighttime from about 7 to 9.
Okay.
At 8, any time between those. We have been opening lately Saturdays from 12 to 4 for just walk-ins.
And I knew Colin would end up asking that. Colin wants to know if you ship to Canada.
Fortunately, I do not ship into Canada. I ship to the U.S. border for pickup.
Okay.
Yeah, Canada.
Well, you can get it. I'm getting that scorpion. Sorry, that was loud. Okay, so I'm guessing that the rules for the giveaway will be for the U.S. only.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to type that in case there's anybody that can't hear very well. All right. I know Colin can. Sorry, Colin. Hopefully we'll be having one again for Canada before too much longer. I need to get one going for the UK. I'm going to try to get with a couple of importers over there and see what I can do to get one for the UK, because I actually have a lot of viewers in the UK. And maybe I can get one going for Australia, because I know I've got quite a few in Australia as well. Okay. All right. Are you ready for the drawing?
I'm ready.
Okay. And I need to pull up the random number generator. And we have got, I can't see, 34 people. So we're going to do 1 through 50. All right. And let's do the share screen.
Tammy, here in about 1 minute.
Your mic broke up.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, in about 1 minute, I'm going to get off of, it's my iPad that I'm on right now. The battery's about dead, but I'm going to get on through my phone.
Okay. You can go ahead and switch over before you close it out. It should pick you up that way.
Okay.
And that way we're not missing you. See, that was quick.
Okay.
I'm going to add that one and remove that one. Okay. David Skidmore says that the website looks good. And he has said he has some nice fish that he won from you last year.
Awesome, awesome.
Okay, guys, when I click start and put your numbers in between 1 and 50, the closest one to the number wins if you didn't go over. You cannot go over the number. So the giveaway, the first one is going to be for the $200 gift card. And put your numbers in now. One through 50, but you can't go over. And there come the numbers. And we'll do this for a couple minutes. So, Jovan, how long did you try to breed for?
So I was breeding at my house for probably about 4 months. And then when I opened up my facility, probably about another 5-6 months. And that was about it. I actually trying to do it full time. But after that, I still kind of dabbled in it here and there. I mean, you always get that fish that pair up and do lay eggs and they have fry, and you kind of feel obligated to raise the fry. So
It's pretty much a full-time job, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. I should have had the website link. I didn't even think of it. Am I still here?
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, that's too long.
Yes, Frank, that was a long time ago.
Okay. And I'm taking off most of this because that's just way too many. It's just myrtlebeachdiscus.com, correct?
It is.
Okay. There's the link for Myrtle Beach Discus, and that's where you go to order Jovan's fish. I definitely recommend it. He has some absolutely gorgeous fish, and I will be showing a video from his live stream last week or this week that he did. What'd you do on Tuesday, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yeah, it was. I tried to make it brief, but it went a little bit longer than I planned. But yeah.
Yeah, when we finish the giveaway and everything, I'm going to pull up the live stream and let them watch the live stream. That way they can see some of those beauties. Okay, guys. I'm going to stop the drawing now. Jovan, do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. It is just Myrtle Beach Discus. I'm not real big on YouTube yet. Kind of dabble here and dabble there with my work schedule and family schedule. It's kind of hectic. So I've been trying to branch off to like TikTok and get my Instagram back and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. All right, guys. Here comes the drawing number from the random generator. Number 41. So let's go back and see who got closest. Matthew is at 37. Travis is at 39. Dreamfish Keeping is at 39. So right there is a tie if that's the closest. Bob, 43. You just missed it. Okay, so we do have a tie between Dreamfish Keeping and Travis. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 10. Let's see. And you guys are going to pick a number between 1 and 10, and we're going to do it on the random number generator. Okay, this is just for Dreamfish and Travis. All right, go. Get your numbers in, you two.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, Bob, that is. Dreamfish keeping pick 4. And Travis, what is your number? Not yet, Matt. Okay, Travis, it was 1 through 10, Travis. Break the tie. This is just the tie between the two. So Travis, pick one between 1 and 10. Oh, is my mic not coming in good?
I can hear you.
All right, let's try it that way. Okay.
Travis picked number 4.
Yeah.
I think Dreamkeeper picked 4 also.
Yeah. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to do the names for the drawings. Okay, so Travis picked 7 and Dream picked 4. So here goes the random generator. Then it's 2. You both went over. Oh my goodness. So, oh my goodness.
I'm glad this is you doing this.
I'm doing the name thing next time. I got to figure it out because somebody had one in a drawing during the Christmas season, and you put all the names in, and each time it stops, it disqualifies a name until you get to just one name left, and that's actually better. Okay, so Travis picked 7 this time. Dream, another number between 1 and 10. Yeah. Oh, Richie. It'd probably be faster. I can't believe it actually picked 2. Dreamfish keeping picked 1. Okay. Here we go. And it was 1.
On the money.
That was $200 gift card from Myrtle Beach Discus. I can see where my scorpions are going. Dadgummit.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
Dreamfish keeping. If you want to send me a message, either on my personal email through our website, I will get you a code, and then that way you can redeem it on our website.
Okay. All right. For the next one, it's going to be the Wormer X. It's a 20-gram Wormer X. And I am writing this down too, Joanne, because I actually had somebody email me and say that they won something when they didn't. So.
Okay.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Oh my God! Geez, I don't know what to do. Is that okay with everybody else? I'm gonna cry. Jovan Dream Fish Keeping just donated the 200 to me.
Awesome. Awesome.
I think I am gonna cry, y'all. Wow. That is so sweet. I'm just gonna cry. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. I'm gonna get scorpions sooner than I thought. All right, let's move on to the next one. I want to get that done because I want to show the video because it was a really great live stream that he did and showed a lot of his fish. So let's go ahead and do the Wormer X. And the Wormer X, that's the Lavemisol, is it not?
The Wormer X.
No, that one's flubendazole, isn't it?
That's a praziquantel.
Okay, praziquantel. So that's, say you've got a good medicine for the quarantine procedures. The praziquantel is. So that'll be a good one. And I'm going to go start, and everybody's going to put in from 1 to 50. Same as the last one. Hopefully we don't have a tiebreaker this time.
I'm sorry, Tammy. The Wormer X is the Lavemisol. The Fluke X is the praziquantel.
Okay, the Lavemisol is still part of the quarantine process, and I actually recommend it higher than I do the Prazi, but you still need the praziquantel as well. And Myrtle Beach Discus does sell that, so you can very easily order that on the website, I'm guessing.
You can.
Okay. All right. I didn't say start yet, y'all. So Gail and Crown Tail, go ahead and put yours back in. I know it's 20 and 25, but just so that I don't have to search. All right. Whew. Y'all, this fish room's a little bit warm. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. Get them numbers in. Dream Fish Kizzy. Okay, Dream, you're going to have to pick one. And 3 would be a tie, but 4, I don't know. So just pick one. Okay. All right, has everybody got it in? How many people? I needed to check how many people are watching. 41. So 50 should still be good. Get those numbers in, everybody. Thank you, Richie. I can always use more Lavemisol. Absolutely. Especially if I've got fish coming in. All right. Should be getting close to being finished. I saw a lot of numbers in. I hope you all got them in. I'm about to hit the stop button.
Is Kim not in tonight?
I haven't seen her, and I sent her the link to actually join the live stream, but I haven't seen her show up. I thought she was going to be here. I was kind of hoping she was because she knows how to copy and paste the names. So That would have made life simpler for me. Okay, guys, here we go. This is for the Lavemisol. And number 40. Let's see. Larry Ann's at 37. And it looks like Larry Ann is the winner this time. Yep, that's it. Hi, John. I sent you a message today. I hope you got it. So Larry Ann, I think you have won the Warmer X.
And on those meds, I'll ship them for free. If they want to just send me a private message or send me a message on my page, I will. I'll get that shipped out.
I'm sorry, Larry Ann. I was calling you Lori Ann, and it's Larry Ann. I don't have my glasses on, and I don't know where they're at, and I don't see too good on the computer, so. Okay. You're so welcome, Larry Ann. We've got one more, and that was the Hexa X, and that one is metronidazole.
That is.
Okay. So this is for the Hexa X. And I probably should have put the other one in too, but I didn't think about it. Okay, guys, here we go. Get your numbers in 1 through 50 for the Hexa X, for the metronidazole.
20-gram pack.
A 20-gram pack. Thanks, John. I'm going to be doing more of them. I had to take a break from it for a little while. I wasn't getting any of the research stuff done that I needed to get done. And I'm working all the time, so it's been kind of hard. But I am going to be doing more live streams, and I think I'm going to be doing one next week. So, Richie. Oh. And Richie, I see that you've got your channel started up. So I got to check that stuff out. And Don, I've been watching the progress on your fish room. It's coming right along. Be glad to see it finished for you. If it's not already. I haven't seen the final one, I know. And if you guys haven't checked out any of the live streams, John, Jake Oliver Guppies, Ray Aquatics, Richie's, there's so many of them. You really, really need to check them out. They've got a lot of really good content on a lot of different things. Where I focus mostly on the discus, they talk about the other things. Jay Oliver he's got a lot of really nice guppies. I have some of his in, which tank are yours in? I think they're in this tank over on this side. And they are the red mosaic dragons, or red dragon mosaics. Man, they are really pretty. They came in with babies in the bag. I had the female, I think, within 30 minutes of putting her in the tank, she gave birth. And I've had tons of them things after that. And he's redoing his fish room. But I do want to look at some more guppies put in here. So this is my little fish room, Joe. I've got a bigger fish room out behind the house, so that's where all the discus are. This is my little fish room, betas and guppies and stuff. So
you have quite a collection of foods.
I do. We feed a lot of different varieties of food, simply to make sure that we're giving them the right nutrition. So not just the discus, but everything. Everybody thinks, they can just go and feed, flakes or feed pellets, but they really need a variety.
Right, absolutely.
Oh, John, you're very welcome. John Oliver is J. Oliver Guppies on Facebook and also on Band. Richie, I knew about your accident and I've been following that on Facebook. I hope that you are recovering well. And your discus will be there when you're better. Albino sky blue. Awesome. I haven't seen those. You'll have to send me a photo of those crown tail. I can't even, I'm trying to imagine an albino sky blue. I finally figured out that mine are all Japanese blue. I had to, I don't know much about guppies, y'all. I started with mollies and went to African cichlids and other things, angelfish and stuff like that before discus, but I never did guppies. So I'm learning strains, and I have what was sold to me as Japanese blues, but my babies are all different colors of blue. So I actually had to ask somebody what strain I had. But apparently they're all Japanese blue, but it can be any hue of blue. It doesn't necessarily have to be light blue like the dad. It can be a darker blue. That was interesting. And we have actually chosen some for breeding further at this point. All right. I should have done this already, and that's the stop. You can sit here and chit chat. All right, here comes the number. Number 2. It's actually a low number.
Hey, somebody on the head.
Crown tail had a 2. Sure enough. Congratulations, Crown tail. That was awesome. Congratulations. Okay, you guys that won the stuff, make sure you message Myrtle Beach Discus on Facebook. He's got a Facebook page, so you can just message straight from there. And he will get that out to you at no cost. So that is awesome. You guys, I enjoyed doing that. I wasn't expecting to have the money donated back to me, which is awesome because now I can definitely look at getting those fish this week or next week. All right, so you guys want to see the video that was put out last week? Let me do it on the other screen because I need this screen. Or this week, actually. All right. And Jovan, I know you weren't expecting me to do that, but I think that it was a great video of the different types of fish, the different strains that you have in. So I definitely want to show it.
Absolutely.
I hit the wrong button. Still, yeah, that one. Close that. Full screen. Full screen. Okay. Share screen. All right, I'm going to go full screen so that they can see it better.
Alrighty.
And there we go. I'm probably not going to show every single bit of it because this is a 31-minute video, guys.
What's up, gang? Give it about another minute. let a few more people join, and we will get this live even started. Hope everyone's having a wonderful night. Hey Jeff, hey Jasenia. Alrighty, like I said, it's going to be just a quick viewing. Been here all day, I'm pretty tired. I will be working on the website all day tomorrow. It does takes me at least a solid 12 hours to get everything updated. I try and take new pictures every shipment, update quantities, strings. So it's a bunch of work, but we try to make it possible. All right, we'll get started on that back side. I'll be feeding them some brine shrimp today. Just there. Get them going. All right, so this tank here, we got some small red jaguars, some small blue diamonds.
Look how red the eyes are.
Scorpions. Oh, also the red ones are called red golden diamonds. Sorry. You see the appetite is very, very great. No lack of appetite on any of these guys. All have nice red eyes, eating well. I'm actually very surprised with this well right now. We just did the Lavemisol treatment on them. Typically, fish are hesitant to eat for a few days after, but these guys have some excellent appetites. Great quality on them. These guys will definitely grow big. All right, next tank we have some of our 4.5 inch fish.
Yeah, I think they like a lot of water movement. I really do. I don't like seeing them without water movement.
Got blue diamonds, cobalts, royal floras, Penang blue knights, some eco red covers. As you can see,
Again, those nice red eyes too.
Missing out on there.
They look great.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to there's no purchase necessary. Like I posted, just our way of giving back to everyone for these past 2 years. You guys have been great with us.
All right, I'm skipping just a little bit. Look at those albinos, man. Those are pretty.
There are some.
Can you hear me, Jovan?
Variety of yellow.
I can.
Okay.
Got golden leopard snakes.
Kind of weird hearing your own voice.
Yeah, it is. I don't listen to my live streams. Once they're done, I never go back. Hi, Susan.
Golden pandas.
Now, do the yellow ones start losing their color if you're feeding foods with color additives in it?
So I try and stay away from feeding the yellow ones additive, like the beaver bites, even the beaver bites. I yellow's separate tank, and
Alright,
try
great
away from
covers.
feeding those anything that have food coloring in them.
Right. And that's the same thing we would do as well.
The coloration on these guys, they'll fill in.
Wow. That one's going to be pretty. I don't know if you can see my mouth. That's going to be a really big fish. That one.
Got about a dozen of them.
And that one's going to be pretty too. They almost look like calicos at this age. Ours look like that too at that age.
Like I said, after the Lavemisol treatment,
Kick a little bit forward again.
in first place is going to get a $250 gift card.
That is the scorpion tank.
To spend.
Thing.
Second place is going to get a 100-gram bag of potassium permanate.
That
Third
one.
place is
I like
free
that
shipping.
one.
So that'll save
Sorry, I keep pausing
you
it.
the shipping cost.
That one's pretty. That one's pretty too.
Some of these guys are a little stressed out, like I said. They just come out of a Lavemisol treatment.
Those are not the jumbos, are they? Or are they
They're
the
not.
jumbos? Okay.
Nate, I'm going to work on the website. I've got most of it.
And those aren't the snake
Now,
skins. Those are
I
just
have
the scorpions,
got to
right?
Go back and
There are some snake.
finish fully updating it with pictures and stuff like that.
So when they
Yes,
first
I
come in,
admit it. I'm a discus hoarder.
when they first come in, I just try and get tanks. So there's a variety of strains in each one. After the first couple weeks, get them organized and bring stuff.
I probably need to put my glasses on and watch it again.
Some of them are a little shy right now to eat, but they're going for it.
That one's a cobalt. I can see that one.
Right, you are on that
I
list.
think. See, I can't see. Aren't they though? He has some gorgeous fish sitting. Look at the calicos. Man, they're pretty.
Sorry.
And that leopard. Whew.
This new farm that we've been working with overseas has definitely been sending some very nice quality fish over. These guys all have great genetics and will grow very fast.
I want to say something about the calicos because the calicos, they do not have very many in a batch. So to get that many in one shipment, that's unreal that he got that many, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Those fish are absolutely stunning. All right, let's skip a little bit more. Got some checkerboards, some yellow melons. Those are pretty.
Alicia said you're looking sharp with the fresh cut.
All right, skip forward a little bit more.
These are just like the white butterflies, except for the regular golden gene.
Yeah, they're definitely carrying the golden gene. Those are pretty. And they're clean. They're really, really clean. When they carry the golden gene, they tend to be cleaner. So that helps out a lot with it, and those are really nice.
We said some of them, we just got them out of the Lavemisol treatment, which again, I mentioned a couple times, but typically after the treatment, they'll take a day or so to come around and eat and stuff like that. So you see one or two that.
And see, that's what was something we talked about. He just said they just came out of the Lavemisol treatment and they're eating really good. That's really a sign of a healthy fish. If they had been sick or overly stressed, they probably wouldn't have been eating that good. So that's a really good sign of how healthy the fish are.
Little lack on his appetite, that is the reason. But most of these guys are eating very well. And they were eating well.
This video is on the Facebook page for Myrtle Beach Discus. It is actually at the very top.
We have.
And you can go back and look at the whole video. It's a 30-minute video. He said he was going to make a quick live stream, but it's actually 30 minutes. So and you look at how the color pops on these turquoise. They're really pretty.
10 pieces of them. So we made that happen for him. A lot of them are trying to pair up so they get a little bit darker.
If you guys have questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comments, and we'll answer those after we go through this.
We got just a few more tanks to show you guys. This tank will have some of our red scarlets in them, some Alton Angels. Sorry,
All right, a little bit forward.
this Mercury, he is pre-sold.
This tank has my jumbo.
That one is pre-sold also. These guys here, the first time we brought these in, they're albino white butterfly, sorry. Looks like we might have a pair trying to form off over here in the corner. So the albino white butterflies.
Oh.
Amazing quality on these guys.
They're not skinny at all. All right, skipping forward a little bit.
This poor guy got a little heater burn on him. He's recovering though. Thanks.
Oops.
Tentacles
There
and
we go.
nail tentacles.
So you see, he also has wild sin. And the Alton Angels as well.
Everybody's got an amazing appetite. Old fish, new fish. So I'm going to go back through it one more time. Like I said, it's just tonight was just going to be a quick viewing. I don't want to stay too long with any particular fish. I have got a long day ahead of me tomorrow, so I will be updating the website tomorrow. Don't forget to get in for the free giveaway. There'll be 5 total winners. So just barely go back there everybody one more time. Some of you are just joining us. Yellow lemons, candles. Here we have some blue snake skins, some blue diamond blues, angels.
Guys, look at those red eyes, though. All these fish have those beautiful red eyes on them.
Here's some of our smaller fish, our juveniles. These guys are
Oh, there's calicos in there,
2.5 inch. I just fed these guys just for a while because they'll get beef part one more time before the night is over.
Oh, look. Oh, what pretty. The pigs, too.
If you do see one that you like, a particular one, just take a screenshot of it, and I will do my best to make sure that that's the exact one that you get. We will be offering video chats next week for return customers or those of you wanting fish that are bigger than 5 inch. And that'll be like a one-on-one call. We'll dedicate personal time to you. You can select the ones you like or separate them and get them shipped off.
Awesome. And see, I like that, the way that you do that, because then you get to choose your fish. Even if you're having it shipped, you still get to choose your fish that you want. All right, guys, I'm going to go on through it a little bit, and then we'll answer questions.
Steph, my main goal here is really not to power feed them. I'm not really
Those
trying to
red
put them
eyes,
out.
man, those
I'm
albinos
just
are
trying to
nice.
maintain them until they find a new home. Now, with that said, I do feed them probably more than I should, but everybody here eats at least 3 times a day, and most of them upwards of 4 times. A couple of the last tanks, or the first ones that were shown, these are some 4.5 inchers. No lack of appetite, even after a harsh medication treatment. Last tank, which was the first, are my red jaguars, red golden diamonds. Then we have some blue scorpions. Yes, I do feed these guys. They're just pigs and like to eat.
All right. So I saw that video Tuesday, and I'm sitting there with my mouth open, and I've got drool running down my chin. I had to go get a napkin and wipe it off. And so I definitely wanted to share that with everybody, because it was a really, really good video of all the fish that he has. He's got a really nice place. So
Thank you.
what do you feed the yellow discus to keep them yellow?
I try not to feed them any foods that have red coloring in them. Basically, I think the only food that I feed in-house right now that does have a slight red coloring to it is the Vibra Bites. So that's the only food that I do not feed the yellows. Other than that, I feed everybody frozen brine shrimp, Royal Menu pellets, and a new pellet. It's called Vita. We bring that in, and so I try to stay away from the red colorings, just to show their true color. I don't want them changing colors or you getting a fish that's different than what I was showing you or online or through our chat.
Right. So everybody go check out his website, myrtlebeachdiscus.com. He has absolutely gorgeous discus, as you saw. You can always, shoot him a message on Facebook and see what he's got available. That's what I'm going to be doing this week. Looking at discus, I can see it. Question for you, Jovan. I have a couple of fish that I ordered from you today. Will I need to treat the fish in quarantine with anything?
I don't recommend you quit treating them right now. When you do receive them, just baby them up. They've been in transit for a little while. Just good water changes, a little bit of aquarium, and just help them recover from their transit. They have all been dewormed twice. We use Praziquantel, Lavemisol, and so they're all clean fish. But we definitely always recommend quarantining your new arrivals.
I can definitely try to. Yeah, it's yeah, I have it actually.
Let's see, I think I might have lost audio.
You're there. I can hear you. You lost it for
Can you
about.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You only lost it for about half a second. Okay, so there's the the link on Facebook as well. Are you on band as well, or just Facebook? Jovan, can you hear me? Oh, we lost Jovan. I think he lost us. No problem, Kim. We're actually almost finished. I'm going to see if he can get back in or not. But as you saw, Myrtle Beach Discus carries some absolutely beautiful fish. So there he is. Let me get him back up here.
Just rejoined.
Awesome. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, you couldn't hear me earlier.
There we go. Back
So,
on. So I'm not sure if Ben heard what I was telling him about
you did.
or
You
not.
did.
Okay, cool.
I think we lost you when you were talking about the salt, but I do think he got that. So,
Perfect.
David, thanks for coming in and watching the live stream, being a part of the live stream with us.
Hey, David.
And Kim, we did miss you.
Okay. Kim, get online.
Oh, Kim, he wants you to come up in the live stream with us. I sent you the link. All you got to do is click. Oh, let's see if she will. Yeah, Kim has got some of Jovan's fish sitting in her breeding room. And she can tell you stories about his fish. So if we can get her up here. And I know you're tired because you just got off work. So.
No, I'm fine. Actually, I took a little 20-minute snoozer, and I'm good to go.
Awesome. I didn't work today. Thank goodness. I had to work last weekend, but not today. So I'm good too. I don't know if she's even hearing us. Let me see.
Brian, the water's pretty good. I have all of our fish are on tap water, 7.4 pH, about a 220, 240 TDS. Yeah, it's not terrible.
Okay, Kim is coming, so just hang on up here, and we'll get her in, and I will take a short break and step away for a minute, and then I'll come back as soon as she gets up here. Francis, thanks for coming and watching. It's always good to see you. I'm always glad when I see you. I've never been to Myrtle Beach, so I'm gonna have to.
Definitely worth a trip. Pretty cheap vacation.
I may have to do that. I've been to a lot of the places. I've been to the Jersey Shore and both the Gulf and the Atlantic side of Florida. So I just haven't been to Myrtle Beach. I'll tell you, probably New Jersey was probably the beach that I hated the most. So, but that was back a long time ago, and they weren't very clean when I was up there. So that may have changed since then. Okay, there's a good question for you.
What are your water parameters, and how often do you change water? So all of my tanks are definitely heavily overstocked. So we do daily water changes. We do about 95%
overstocked.
water.
Hang on a minute, Kim.
And then once a week we do a deep clean, where we go in and wring out the filters, and we just really get in there and go to town cleaning. parameters. Water 7.4. We just use regular tap water, no type of RO or nothing like that. We like to keep it simple. Overseas, we kind of match their pH. Theirs is just a little bit lower than ours. Theirs is about a 7. Ours is 7.4. So fish will adapt to it. Theirs is just a little bit lower than ours. Theirs is about a 7. Ours is 7.4. So fish will adapt to it. Theirs is just a little bit lower than ours. Theirs is about a 7.
What a wonderful echo.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Did you mute YouTube yet?
Say what? What a wonderful echo.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Did you mute YouTube yet? Nope.
Say what?
Hang on. She's trying. I think she's got YouTube on, open in another screen. Okay, wave if you've got YouTube shut. All right, let's try it again. Is it better? All right, let's try it again. Is it better? Thanks for coming in, Ben.
Thanks, better.
Thanks for coming in, Ben.
Thanks, better.
There we go. She's putting her headset on. I muted you. No, you still got it? Still got it? You still got it. Still got it? It's almost like you can see it on repeating it. It's almost like you can see. Uh-oh. Well, she couldn't get it fixed. Country Girl, thanks for coming and visiting with us. We really appreciated having you in.
Thanks, Country Girl.
She may switch to her phone instead of her computer. We've had that before, and I can't remember how we got it fixed before when it happened. Let's see. I don't know why it does that, repeating stuff on some people and some people it don't. I closed the wrong screen. Go back to this one. Okay.
Is that any better?
Oh my God.
Jeez, what the hell? Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Same old, same old.
All right. Why don't you tell people about that?
Oh Lord, I have a lot of fish from him. They're doing fine. I mean, there's nothing really to report. They're doing fine. They normally do. I normally do not have a problem with his fish at all. And shoot, normally they pair up pretty quickly too. So if you're looking to breed. All right. The new ones I just got from him with some snow eruptions, and they're young, but they are paired. And actually, he sent me 4 of them, and I ended up with 2 pairs out of 4.
Those are pretty odd.
Right? So it wasn't supposed to work that way, but that's kind of how it worked out because I kind of needed males, but I ended up with 2 pairs, so what the hell. But yeah, they're paired, but they ain't really laid yet, but they're young. So it's going to take some time anyway, so. But no, I love getting fish from you. I absolutely love it. He's really good with working with me. I've talked to him numerous times on the phone about fish, and then he'll show me little videos and go through as we're going, and I can pick which one I want and so on and so forth. I'm sure he don't have time to do that with everybody, but you know, he will work with you, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
I know, I'm in my normal dark room. That's because I have my bingo playing too, you know. It could have been. Well, you know, I got 3 computers running at the same time, so. Yeah. Any other questions, Tam?
No.
Oh, they paired within like a week and a half, the first pair, and then the other 2 were left, and they turned around and paired, and I'm like, are you kidding me? But normally, yeah, even if I buy a single because I'm looking for a specific sex or something, it normally turns out pretty good. Every now and then, me and him get it wrong. It happens. But normally, I get them, and they're ready to go, and no problems. Just throw them in the tank, let them do their little quarantine, and off we go. So. What was that?
Do you have any questions for Joe Van?
Well, I missed probably the whole live stream, and I do apologize. But no, not really. Not right off the top of my head. I guess if I wanted to know anything, I always message him. He probably thinks, oh God, here she goes again. You know, here she is looking for something or wanting something. You know.
She's another business.
Really? Did you just really call me a hoarder?
Why not?
How about an extreme fish nerd? How's that work for you? I mean, come on. Give me a break, all right? I'm actually redoing my room. Yeah, okay. No, I didn't add no more yet. It's coming. So guess who else will be fish shopping? Actually, huh? No, you ain't beating me to nothing. No. Not gonna happen. Actually, no, I'm pulling out some of my 20 breeder tanks and 29s, and I'm taking all the 55s in that room. So I'll have 5 of the 55s, the 160, and then all those 20s. So I'll still have a lot of 20s in there. And I brought in 2 more racks that are in my dining room, which is completely full of fish. But I'm bringing in a 125 to put in my living room because I'm going to get freshwater rays to put in it. So I'm going to start off with babies and then as they grow.
It's not like
but no, I'm right now I set up what I call my ram rack. Because I'm attempting to breed some rams right now. Some black rams, some blue rams, they're long fin black rams, long fin gold rams, German blues, and electric blues. And I'm thinking I'm going to add something else, but I'm not sure what.
Right.
So, but then I'm bringing in the other rack because I got to move all my piranhas over to that rack. It's just getting worse. Don't ask. It just gets worse as we go. You know, I got over 52 tanks in my house now, and I'm adding 6 more. So, go figure, right?
Yeah.
It's never ending.
Yeah.
No, but you know, I all my baby tanks are full. Go figure. Somebody needs to carry their behind and come get babies because I got plenty.
Yes.
But yeah, it's got it going on right now. I just got to get the rams going pretty good. I've had one clutch, but that was totally my failure. So, oh well.
You guys check.
No, ain't no. Ain't none of that. You made me come on here. You keep your butt right there.
Yeah, you check.
Oh shoot. So how you been doing?
Been doing well. Busy.
You got a large shipment in, didn't you? Real large shipment.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're about 35 through it. Still a lot left though.
Did you pick up any pairs?
A couple of them. Usually when I have people come in, they're like, they know what are those doing? Yeah.
So, do you have any pairs listed on your site right now for sale?
I don't even gumbo feet. Past week with the balanced. Get it
Right.
out.
Right.
Definitely love. Non-stop. Hopefully I'll have I'll just gumbo.
Look who's back. There's nobody standing behind you. Well, I'm so glad you guys finally got to do the live stream. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So I seen something about doing a giveaway. What's the giveaway?
We already did.
Oh, really? Ah,
I know. I need you and you weren't here.
wow. Now I threw my lighter, so I guess I ain't smoking. Wow. Man, that snooze was awfully well. Snoozing away, missed everything as usual.
You really missed because the person looking for your card gave it to me.
Aww.
No.
Tammy, I think I have that egg.
It's Kim.
Hey, look, don't blame me for everything.
See, it goes away when I mute her, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
I just won't talk no more. How's that?
It's not normal. And I bet you don't.
Kinda.
Yeah. It's been great. Hopefully we can do that sometime.
Right, you gotta get your $200 fishing worth of fishing, and then we'll do a walkthrough of your fish room.
We can do that.
Right? That way you can show the fish you got.
Yes. Absolutely.
I already know what she wants.
Well, everything. That's big.
I can tell you if you got blue scorpions, that's one of them. Tell me I'm wrong.
We've been talking about this live.
Oh, really? Well, I'm still right, so. Oh, shoot. Where the hell did I throw my damn lighter to?
I have no idea. All right, guys, we are gone tonight. We appreciate you guys being here. That you and talk about this is something you guys had a time with us. And we will see you next time. Bye, y'all.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Look forward to something in the future.